47 from the top. The True 50 Greatest MCs, written by Kool D. This guy on the mic is written over 20 years ago. This is Spoonie G right here. This is him. Let's get into it while he's number 47. I'm the cold crushing lover, world's woman supreme. When it comes to fine girls, I love them like a loving machine. When it comes to making love, I do the best that I can. I'm known from coast to coast as a 60-minute man. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't gamble neither. And most people call me the woman pleaser. I'm the man's threat, the woman's pet, better known as the man of joy. A man who fights on a microphone for all people enjoy. This is why you have to disregard the MTV, VH1, BET list of MCs. They can't go back far enough. Spoonie G is the hip hop as Barry White and Teddy Pendergrass, also soul and R&B. Spoonie G is hip hop's true troubadour. Not only a pioneer, but Spoonie G is the first and last of its kind. Sure, there have been many MCs who have made love songs, sexually explicit lyrics, and songs dealing with male and female relationships, but there has never been another MC who dealt solely with love and sex. Furthermore, Spoonie G did it with simplicity and class. He never got intricate lyrically, he never got vulgar or explicit in his expression. He kept it simple, smooth, and sexual. He always referred to himself as a lover. He referred to the act as making love. Between 1978 and 1983, the lyrical landscape was more about rocking parties and braggadocious bravado about how great our rhymes were. Spoonie G decided to focus on the ladies. You would never know how crazy this was if you weren't there to feel the climate. This could have been career suicide. It's the equivalent of, although not as significant as Ali bragging about being the greatest in the openly racist South at a time when black fighters humbly let nobles speak for them. Spoonie G was running the risk of being booed and run out of town after every performance, and believe me, some nights didn't go so well. However, when hip-hop became a part of the record industry, this type of rhyme translated very well on blacks. Spoonie developed a young cult following that is still strong today. Many people are constantly asking me for old tapes and records of the great Spoonie G. As a member of Spoonie G and the Treacherous Three, Special K, L.A. Shim Shine, and Kool D, Spoonie always felt like he was destined to go solo. We could have routine designed to talk about breakfast soldiers, and somehow when it was swing time to rhyme, the soldiers would have nothing to do with breakfast. The woman would have something interesting to do with it. He was obsessed. Ultimately, he went solo, made some hit records, cemented his legacy as one of the greatest MCs using the lost art of love rhyming. One of the smooth voices on wax. That was his strength. According to Kool D, Spoonie's voice automatically changed the party mood. Nervous energy, weakness. Whenever Spoonie gets nervous, he can't rhyme. Gets flustered and mumbles just about anything. He was nervous on his first record, Spoonie Rap. Love Rap, they take it off. Favorite record and Godfather Rap. Number 47, Spoonie G gets 100 for originality. This is what I meant when I said it's harder for newer acts to get originality points, because after all these years you have to be doing something so unique. It's just intricate. We've seen so much of that's hard to get originality points. Of course, Spoonie doesn't have that problem. Spoonie is absolutely, without a doubt, a pioneer of MCs coming up with the whole love rap style. Sticking to that style. It's a style that has yet to be mastered. You have dabbled in it. People have made love songs, but nobody has done it the way Spoonie did it consistently throughout his whole career. He's associated strictly as the love rhymer. The concepts, 85. His whole style is conceptual. His whole rhyme style is a concept focused on love. It's constantly about love. It does right things. It's almost like painting a picture in some of those records. He's got a lot of records that aren't hits, but they aren't very high in the concept world. 70 is his versatility. He doesn't stray outside the love area. He got a little bit on the braggadocious side with his Godfather record, but for the most part, Spoonie stayed in one zone that he was in. That was about being on the vocabulary. Spoonie kept it very, very simple. There aren't too many words that you can use to supplement the word love, so love is the word he used a lot. Love and sex. 80, substance. Love and sex can't be substitute. Can be substitute, but it's not necessarily changing the world. Though they say it's what makes the world go round, he tried to keep it as positive as he could, positive. I don't think he ever used any family songs which is substantive in that 66. Flow 70 is one of the old school artists that was more about getting message across than get real instrument because with the flows, get the basic inspiration. Flavor 70. In later years, he started to get a little more flavorful, but in the beginning and the first records, yeah, he was very nervous. I know this because I know him personally. He was very nervous, and so his delivery was that tight in the first two records that he made. Spoon and rap and love rap. By the time he got the master jam with sequence, you started to hear him loosening up, and you could hear him melting into the track. He started adding more flavor into the equation, but for the most part, he kept it simple and not real flavorful. For freestyle ability, number 60. Spoonie's another one of the old school artists that prided himself on writing his rhymes. Family didn't like coming off the top of his leg. He'd do it. A lot of old school artists didn't even respect what's being called freestyle now, but back in the day, it was called coming off the top of your head. Vocal presence, give him an 80, that's what he gave him MOD. He's a very smooth, simple voice. He had a very smooth, simple voice. Like Barry White, Teddy Pendergrass as hip hop. He's what they are to R&B. He didn't have the deep voice like Barry White or like Smokey Robinson. Live performance, 75. The one thing about Spoonie was he always wanted somebody on stage. He had a very sharp personality. Sometimes he wouldn't put it offline. But once he started getting the confidence, he got the hit records, he got better as he went along. Poetic value, 7. Very simplified, more rhyme than poetry, strategy. He didn't really put a lot of thought into the poetic value of the equation. It was more about the rhyme. Body of work, 80. Once again, he had 3 or 4 hits. At the time he was making records, there were no albums to be made. It was only singles. I'm not going to penalize any group. I'm not going to penalize the newer group for not being able to do what they have to do because their job is their job now. But the older MCs, I'm not going to penalize them for not having the opportunities that the new cats have. So all you can do is judge a cat for what he had to do. So every year, Spoonie put a record out and it hit and made an impact. And it did all that way up to 87. It's 87. The industry impact, 75. At the time that he came, there just weren't too many accolades to be given. However, he does get points from the fact that in pioneering something when it's brand new, we don't know what to make of it. So what happens is you grasp onto whatever little there is, and you start building from whatever that was. A lot of people built on what Spoonie came from. 65 for social impact, just for being there. That time there was nothing else to do. A lot of others were heralded as kings or queens of the neighborhood. He served as a motivational force as far as that goes. That was localized in its social impact. It didn't have the global effect and the global timing that later artists could have. 90, for longevity. A lot of people don't know. Spoonie was rhyming in 1977. He was my partner, Ashley. So rhyming from 78 to 87, that's 9 years at 10 points per year. Lyrics, 75. Spoonie never was a true lyricist. He was an excellent song and rhyme writer, but he wasn't a true lyricist. Being a lyricist has more to do with how you come across with a lot of braggadocio. You can see on the rhyme, Spoonie wasn't really a lyricist. Finally, 60 for battle skills. Spoonie never had conflicts with anybody. He could battle if pushed, but he just wasn't that kind of MC. Spoonie would rather have peace and talk love to women than battle somebody. Total score, 1,275. Average score was 75. That's it. It's R&B and Fat Joe. Puerto Rican rhyme down. Number 47 to finish Kool D's book. Spoonie G. Number 47. So be back tomorrow with number 46, Fat Joe. Till then, talk to you soon. Also, before I go, here's the 50 greatest rappers. This is specifically about how the MC sounds on records. Their dynamics, lyrics, flow, articulation, rhythmic pocket. One does not have to be an MC in order to be a rapper. This is some about how good you are on wax. And the wax doesn't necessarily have to translate to any other part of the game. There are some of the greatest on wax. So here's the 50 greatest rappers. Going to Kool D. In this way, he had on his list the DOC at number 50, number 49 Special Ed, number 48 D Nice, Icy at number 47, 46 Scarface, 45 Fat Joe, number 44 Dana Dane, number 43 Mystical, 42 Common, 41 Corrupt, 40 Razzcast, Dougie Fresh number 39, 38 Foxy Brown, 37 Craig Mack, 36. Keith Murray is 35. Exhibit 34. Black Thought 33. Eve number 32. MC Shan 31. Kool 30. Lil Kim 29. Will Smith 28. Curtis Blow. Heavy D 27. Snoop Dogg 26. Run DMC number 25. 24. Redman. Busta Rhymes 23. Traps 22. Grandmaster Cavs 21. Kool G Rap 20. 19. X Cube Queen Latifah 18. Kumo D 17. Method Man 16. 15. Nas 14. MC Light 13. Chuck D 12. Lauryn Hill 11. Melly Mel. Top 10. Jay-Z number 10. Eminem 9. E 8. DMX Rick number 7. Tupac 6. LL Cool J 5. Big Daddy Kane 4. Notorious B.I.G. 3. Chris 1 2. And Rakim as the greatest MC on wax. For his greatest rappers on wax, that's who Kumo D had on his top 50 list for his the greatest rappers on wax. About how the MC sounds on records on wax. That's what he gave Rakim the #1 nod for the greatest MC on wax. Alright, so that's it for today. Be back tomorrow for more content. Talk to you tomorrow.